One love to the humble, one love to the humble, one love to the humble. May grace and peace be multiplied unto you. Got a video request from the Good Brothers Trade Day. And this request is basically, why is it that black women do not want black men strictly for love? Why does it always have to come with money or some type of handout? Well, that's a good question. Because I'm sitting here thinking about different times in society and how things used to be versus how things have become. It's very different. I would say that when I was younger, like in my early 20s, even in my late teens, you know, I mean, I really didn't, I don't know what it's like to experience not being, not having women being attracted to me. I'm just going to be honest. I don't know what that feels like. But I mean, well, let me put it this way: I know every woman not gonna think that I'm attractive, but I'm saying, like, for the most part, I never had a problem getting a woman, and it was never because of money. Because when you're a teen, you don't really have no money in the first place. Not like that. Even though I did have money, I was working, but I wasn't nobody that you could consider rich or anything like that. But that was nobody knew that, so that wasn't like something that I was using for my own benefit. But it seemed like today, well, back then, you didn't have to really. They wasn't asking. They always. I mean, don't get me wrong. Women always want money. That's not a question. They always want you to do something for them. That's just the nature of it. You're gonna have to spend money on them. That's just the way it is. You're gonna have to do something because women extract. Men create resources. Women are designed to extract those resources from you. So when you take on a relationship with a woman, you're gonna have to everything you do gonna revolve around you spending money in one way or the other. And she's not gonna be expected to spend as much money as you are in the relationship. That's the way. That's the way it's always been. That's the way it always will be. But back then, you didn't have to be necessarily rich. And if you had a lot of money, it was always a plus. But you could genuinely get to know someone, and they wasn't asking you what you're gonna give them. When you was in a relationship with them, that wasn't necessarily how it went. Now, being a gentleman, being chivalrous, you might take her on a date. Y'all might go out. You might spend money on the date, but it was never like necessarily a requirement. Now, were there women out there who would make it up known up front? Yeah, but today I think it's become a culture today. It wasn't necessarily a culture back then. You can easily get identified as a gold digger because everybody was in that way. But see, you can't really say gold digger today because I mean it doesn't distinguish anything. All of them are about the same nowadays. Just about. They all got the same mindset and they are thinking the same when it comes to men and money. But I think when it comes to black women, um, they feel slighted. You know what I'm saying? I think they feel slighted because they're looking around at every other race of women. It's to them it's perceived that they have something more going on than they do. You know what I'm saying? They perceive that the other races have something that they don't have, which is not true. I mean, if you look up the stats and you look up the earning potential for every male in the United States, it's about the same. Nobody's really making no more that much more money than anybody else, to be honest with you. Now you got your upper echelon, upper 10%, then you get into the 5%, then you get to the 1%. But most of us not up in that ballpark. So, but they look around, they think that they see something that is an illusion. It's something that looks like something that is not. You can have a nice house, you can have a nice car, and be broke, living paycheck to paycheck, paying the house note and the car note. But the illusion of it looks good, right? It looks good when you're looking at it from the outside looking in. It looks like they got something more that you may have. They may have a bigger house. but you got a house too. They may have a bigger bank account or a bigger bed, but you got bed. You got the same things they got. Theirs just bigger. So I think that's how we get caught up in these money situations and them wanting money. Plus, today they have a heightened sense of self worth, meaning like you're gonna hear that a lot. Like, oh, now I know my worth. Now I know my worth. What this really mean is I picked poorly. I picked this guy over here that, which is probably the guy you should have been with in the first place, but you couldn't get along with him because you wanted him to be like that guy over there that didn't want you. You want him to be like that guy, but he couldn't be like that guy because he is who he is. And since he couldn't be like that guy, you decide, well, I'm leaving him. So you left him, and then now you want every other guy to give you something for your time because you think you're worth more than what they really are worth. So with that being said, they're gonna expect something. They're not gonna give you anything, but they want you to give them everything. And it ain't about love, it ain't about relationships, it ain't about none of that. It's just about what can I get for myself. That's what they're thinking about. Because truthfully, most women are always in survival mode. So when you live a life with the survival mindset, you're not looking for anything like that. You're looking for what you can get for yourself, not about how I can work together with this person. See, that's something that's lost in society today when it comes to men and women, especially the black community. We don't work together. We no longer trying to work together with everybody having all these opportunities and things like that. Um, Ain't no working together. It's simply do this for me or else. So men fall into this trap where they don't know how to go about it. So if you take them out on a date and you do all these things for them and they just using you, then you're like, dang man, they just using me. And you're not getting anything for it. But that's how a lot of women are moving today. They're not looking for love. They're looking for what they can get. And there are a lot of women deal with a lot of the wrong guys at first, but everybody else after they're gonna have to pay that price for them having the bad choices. And then you got to add in the fact that it's a lot of fatherless homes that was starting up in the 90s, even in the 80s, and in the 2000s. A lot of these women now are in their 20s, maybe like 24, 25 years old at this point, and they have a father in the home, so they don't understand how to work with a man. They don't understand the male authority. They don't understand any of that because see, women don't operate the same way men do. Men understand structure and authority. Women don't do that. Have you ever noticed when a son and a father get around each other, they can laugh and joke, but it's always a level of respect. There's always a line that the man is not going to cross with his father because of the respect and the structure and the hierarchy. See, women don't operate in a structure or hierarchy situation. What they do is they see each other as equals, right? They look at each other as, well, we are on the same page. So if a mother and a daughter situation, once you get a certain age, it's no longer it's not looking at like a man will with his son. They're looking at like, this is my homegirl. You get what I'm saying? That's why they say stuff. They call each other like girl, and it's how they talking like they're on the same page. But man, we might be cool with our sons and all that, but we gonna always draw that line where you're not gonna disrespect me because there's a hierarchy here. I'm the big dog. You still a little pup, no matter what. So then you run. That's why you run into and then what another thing what happen with is that you'll hear all of the like what men doing now online is something never been done before. You've never seen women put in this kind of light before. Women has always pretty much been protected and shunned, no matter. I mean, not shunned, protected and yeah, just protected throughout their whole existence. No one has ever challenged them on their thought process and what they're doing. But now this was happening, and it's happening is because of the result of feminism. But they had never been seen in this light before ever. So that's why everybody's tuned it in, and it's so interesting. But what tends to happen is that is going to, in turn, make them have a response. And a lot of things that's being said on these podcasts, they're saying it themselves and they don't like it because it makes them look bad. The things women like, it makes them look bad. That's why they don't like to say it out loud because it doesn't look right. So like whereas in where what a man want always seem to be not too bad. It don't make a man look bad for one, a good woman, have a family, have kids. But see, women think a little bit differently. The things they want make them look bad, so they don't like to say it. But with these podcasts coming out and exposing and putting women on Front Street, and now their true self is showing, they have to have a rebuttal. And the rebuttal is to just talk trash about men. See, we're not the podcasts that I've seen. They're not talking trash about women, but they're just showing you how women think, showing men how women think. But to women, they don't like to be exposed because they got a lot of pride. And when you hurt a woman's pride, she gonna try to come after your ego, or she gonna try to embarrass you or something like that. Because they're not built to take losses. They can't handle it. So they're gonna always try to do and say things to tear you down or mess up your character. So that's why you have all this nonsense going on between us. And then a lot of us are not moving in the right way to get into relationships. We're having too many one night stands. Too many babies getting created out of these one night stands. People don't even care about each other. The man don't want the baby. The woman does want the baby. The woman don't want to be in a relationship. The man don't want to be in a relationship. Then they can't get along. It's a power struggle because now she finally got a way to have some power when she got the kid. So she withholding the kid and going through all this court stuff. It creates anger between each other, and you can't build a relationship like that. But then she carries that over into other relationships, and she already got a kid. So when you carry that over into other relationships, that same attitude, that same mentality, it becomes hard for black people to get along together. And we already at the bottom of the totem pole with everything, and this ain't making it no better. But I'm gonna go back to they don't understand structure, and especially when they don't have a father figure in the home to show them what it's supposed to look like to listen and follow. Women do better when they're up under somebody. Not that they can't um, handle complicated tasks, but they operate better when there's a male or when they operate under another man. They don't do as well operating solo. They always need guidance. They try to talk this talk and you know talk the feminine talking points, but deep down inside their heart, they know that it's true. They will never. Some of them will never admit it, and that's okay. But biologically speaking, we all made in a certain kind of way biologically to act a certain kind of way. Men are naturally want to be in a leadership role. That's just in our DNA. And when we're not being in that role, it causes problems. Just like in the home with the absent father. If you have a woman that's not used to structure and a man that is coming in with structure and she don't want to follow that structure, she's gonna buck up and make it hard for you to be in the relationship. You see what I'm saying? She find every which way she can to mess up. I don't think she's doing it. I don't think it's on purpose. I don't think she can help it because she's not used to falling under somebody else, especially not a black man. As much as she got a negative view on black men because her father wasn't there, and maybe she's seen her brothers do things, or cousins or uncles or somebody, and it gave her a negative perception. Plus, what feminism is cooking in the mix as well, it creates this negative impression of black men that she can't respect. Because a woman can't respect you, she can't love you. And so if she can't love you, then she want to use you. She want to get everything she can get out of you because she don't really care. And that's why a lot of women today, they find themselves in those situations and then they get upset when things don't go the way they think it should because they've been told they bosses, they're in charge, they can run things, it's a partnership, all this language that they're using now, and it's destroying. They have basically what they're doing is they're fighting against their biology. Their natural biology say act like this, but they can't do that because of the social pressures telling them no, don't act like your biology say. Do what the social pressures are and follow feminism. And those who follow that, they are very unhappy women. They're very unhappy. And so they're gonna that the happiness is gonna show. Now I've been jumping all around just saying a bunch of topics and points that come to my head, but I hope that even though I've been doing that, you still get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. And it's basically, I don't know if the black man and black woman relationship gonna ever be able to recover unless we somehow change this narrative and get people back together again. Because right now we're looking bad. We're not doing as good as we should. We still creating all these babies outside of wedlock. Ain't nobody getting married. And now women are saying they're going to college and they're waiting until later on to get married, which is not good for them. This is what they want to do. They say this is what they want to do. Okay, but the older you get, not saying it's impossible to have a kid later on, but if you wanted to, if your desire was to have a bigger family, then this probably not going to be the case. You're probably gonna have one kid, and that's probably going to be it. Maybe two at the most, and then you run into the high risk of things. But ultimately, the reason why this is going on is because black women just don't respect black men. They don't respect them. They think other races of men somehow have something going on that they don't have going on. But when you look at, not to be funny or anything like that, but the black man is one of the strongest men out here. I mean, we dominate in every single thing that we do. Maybe it's not because we think we're better than everybody else. We just do things on a different kind of way, and we just are that way. And to say you don't want one or you can't deal with one, it's just a product of feminism. Have created this idea that is that we don't need they don't need us. They say they in college more now. They got jobs there. They don't need no man. So if you're telling everybody you don't need a man, then he's gonna give you just what you want. He's not gonna try to be with you either. It's just gonna be a problem. So man, to sum it all up, the reason why you have these problems between black men and women is simply because of respect, and they're not going to, no longer going to follow because they've been convinced that somehow the black man has oppressed them and that the patriarchy is out to get them. So until that goes away, until that mindset change, things are going to continue to be bad between the black man and black woman. Y'all take care.